Hello and welcome to After the Show. We are back after a long break, Africa's #1 film review show. This week, we are at the Parliament House of Ghana because the film we are looking at is based on the story of a Nigerian parliamentarian. The film is titled Tenant of the House, based on a novel by Dr. Wale Okediran. But what is it about? Let's find out.
Tenant of the House is a political drama about a heroic, if naive, newly sworn-in member of Nigeria's Federal House of Representatives. Samuel Bakura is a new breed politician who rejects the corrupt old ways of doing business in Nigeria. He even attempts to heal a long-standing ethnic crisis among the Fulani community, and while doing so, he falls in love with one of them, further complicating his life. The movie deals with the themes of girl-child education, betrayal in love, and corruption. Tenant of the House is directed by Kunle Afolayan and inspired by a novel by Dr. Wale Okediran. Watch it on Netflix.
The film was a collection of themes. And for me, I felt the author very skillfully weaved in a lot of very topical themes.
Something to be proud of because of the values that they tried to portray in the movie. Not that they tried, they did portray in the movie. To be proud of because they were able to show the varying cultures. Something we tend to lose sight of.
It was interesting. The sweetest part of it is where the romantic part, but unfortunately that didn't end in the way we expected it, because the guy suffered a lot, and we expect him to get married to the lady. But I think that is suspect in the film. That's what I think.
For me, I think though it's a fictional piece, but I think the facts in them look so real. One being a Nigerian, and then having a clear understanding of what the cultural as well as the political setting back home depicts.
From the movie we just saw, we could see that young man, the politician, he was strong-willed, determined, and at the end of the day, he got what he has always wanted. So I think strong determination will go a very long way. If each and every one of us, it's not applicable to Nigeria alone, because this movie is about Nigeria, but I would say it's about Africa. Let me say it's about the whole world in general.
This is a democracy that was hard fought for. Will stand strong and not allow any person, regardless of power or status, to truncate it.
I called you my brother, which is why he gave you privileged access to our resources and our secrets.
Where is Samuel Bakura?
We have the figures. What are we waiting for?
Stop it! With all your assets and assets.
You know what your problem is, Zata? Despite being the speaker, you have no clue whatsoever when it comes to politics.
And that is why I'm reaching out to you, dear Elizabeth.
My name is Wale Okediran. I'm the author of the book Tenants of the House, and the book was adapted into a film with the same name, Tenants of the House, and I'm the executive producer of that film.
Why did you choose this book out of your 14 novels to make this film?
The book is actually a factional account of my stay as a member of the parliament in Nigeria, and I decided to write it to showcase what goes on in the parliament, the political intrigues, the corruption, and sometimes the horse trading that goes behind the scene.
What did you want people to take away after watching this film?
Well, I want them to have a deeper understanding on what goes on among their elected leaders, politicians, political leaders, so that they will appreciate the kind of activities and the kind of efforts that are put into issues of governance and democracy.
What advice would you like to give to filmmakers?
From what I've seen during the production of this movie, the advice I would like to give to filmmakers is for them to put emphasis into the content of whatever they're going to make into a movie. The richer the content of their film, the better for them.
How has the pandemic affected the movie industry?
The pandemic, the COVID pandemic affected the film industry to a very big extent, because after the production of Tenants of the House, after spending a lot of money, I was looking forward to recouping the money. We decided to go to the cinemas. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, people still had this fear of going to cinemas, of congregating in large numbers. So the attendance at the cinemas was very poor. So I can say that the pandemic has, in a way, affected cinema going. But at the end of the day, I was going into Netflix, which is an online streaming platform, saved the day.
What advice would you like to give to African subscribers of Netflix?
I will expect them and advise them that if they want to really enjoy the quality of that Tenants of the House, they should go to Netflix and make sure they subscribe, and they will enjoy the film to a very big extent.
Cabal doesn't hold prisoners. The most prized currency in politics is loyalty.